right, guys, let's talk about a day anywhere. All right, this is 1.2 values. So in this one, this is a program like a day at the beach, except you get to make up your own story. Very fun. So you'll never guess what happened at our day at the blank. So you're going to create your own fill in the blank type story. Words, you're going to use input with words that match specific parts of speech. And for output, it's going to be a funny story containing the user's input. So your requirements for this is to get input with the input command, print output with the print command, join two strings together with the concatenation sign, and convert between strings, floats, and integers. That's typecasting, by the way, if you remember that. Some challenges. Let's take a look. We could get new numbers. We could do all types of conversions. We could do some other things in here. So, totally your prerogative if you decide to do some challenges. Before we get started, let's run solution to kind of see what this should look like. Running of the solution. So we enter an adjective, and if you recall, an adjective describes a person, place, thing, or idea, like pretty. Okay, enter a plural noun. That's a noun that's more than one, like girls. Enter a number, 86. Enter a past tense verb ending in ed. So like maybe past. Like I passed my book off. Enter another plural noun, let's say boys. And enter another adjective, let's say handsome. Enter a present tense verb ending in ing, let's say walking. And enter another plural noun, dogs. Alright, and then it generates our story, a day at the beach. Yesterday we went to the beach, we had a pretty time. It wouldn't have been so pretty except that when we got there we saw girls. Ha ha ha, we were so surprised the girls were everywhere. I hadn't seen any girls in 86 days. Oh my goodness, that's 12.2 blah 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 weeks. We passed them with boys, and in the end everything was handsome. Interesting. We finished off the day by walking in the beach and building sand dogs. Ha ha ha. And that was my pretty big day at the beach. Alright, so that's how it works. So let's take a look here. Let's take a look-sees. Hang on just a second. Alrighty, just wanted to make sure we expanded this so that you were able to see. So now that we got that out of the way, whoops, hang on just a second. Technical difficulties here. Finding my window. Okay, here we go. So to start us off, we're at line 11, and it says get input asking for the first part of speech and assign it to variable. So we're going to go ADJ1 gets input, enter an adjective, and space and quotation mark and parenthesis. Now, before I did that, I might also offer a bit of advice. Sometimes you guys, like, you're not sure what a part of speech is. So let me come up here, and so we could, before that, we could print and say an adjective describes a person, place, or thing. Okay, just to kind of give the user a hint as to what the heck an adjective might be. Totally your prerogative, you don't have to do that, but you know, it's always an option. Line 15, which I should still be on track for the number lines that you have, says get input asking for the second part of speech and assign it to a new variable. So let's ask for a noun, noun 1, and obviously you are welcome to change this up. Input, parenthesis, quotation mark, enter a plural noun. Okay.
Coach,
Oh, yep, what's up?
would I be able to do practice on Friday?
Maybe. No
Okay.
promises because of testing.
Okay.
Okay, get input asking for, okay, so we are down to line 19. And 19 says get input asking for a number and assign it to a new variable. So this goes number gets input, parenthesis, quotation mark, enter a number, okay, space, quotation mark, parenthesis. And then down here, line 24, it says do any math calculation using the number input and typecast. So for example, you could go num underscore div for dividing gets float number divided by 7. I mean, and you can totally make this up. We don't have to divide. We could multiply. Okay? Your prerogative. So let's run this and see what we got. An adjective describes a person, place, or thing. Enter an adjective, and we'll say weird. Enter a plural noun. Frogs. Enter a number, 88. Okay, so far so good. No bugs. We don't like bugs. All right, let's go down to line 28. Get any part of speech using input and assign to its own variable. So obviously you see that I'm kind of doing a specific type of part of speech. You do not have to do exactly what I do. You have some creative freedom with this assignment. You like my song? I hope so. All right, so we're going to go verb 1 gets input, parenthesis, quotation mark, enter a past tense verb ending in ed, space, quotation mark, parenthesis. And then down here we're going to print a blank line for readability. Print, open, close, parenthesis. And it says test. I'm not going to test it yet. I just tested it. All right, now we're on to the story part. And so again, creative freedom here. Tell whatever story you want. It does not have to be the beach. It can be whatever story. I would recommend, though, writing the story first and then doing the code if you're going to go rogue and do something different. Because if you don't know where you're going, how are you going to know if you got there, right? So right here, we're going to print the story in all caps. So print, and I'm not going to do a day at the beach. I'm going to call it a day at the Shire. I don't know. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to print a dotted line. Don't forget your quotation marks. Don't count these dots. Just throw some dots in there. It's just a separation. And then down here, we're going to print at least one line of the story using the first variable concatenated into a string. So I'm going to go print, and I'm going to say, long ago, we went to the Shire, period. We had a space, quotation mark, plus ADJ1 plus, quotation mark, space, time. Okay, so I'm just changing a few words up here. If you want to change up more words, by all means, keep it PG, keep it school appropriate. All right, and the next one, it says print at least one line of the story using the second variable concatenated into a string. So I go print, parenthesis, quotation mark. And we're going to say it would have been so plus ADJ1 plus, quotation mark, parenthesis, if it were not for the plus noun 1 plus, and then I'm going to do a period at the end. Quotation mark, period, quotation mark, parenthesis. All right, let me expand this out. Make sure you can see it. See it nice and wide. There it is. Okay. And again, I'm making this up as I go. So do what you want. Okay. Next up, line 57, it says print at least one line of the story using the result of your math calculation. Ooh, okay. So we're going to print and say, I hadn't seen any plus noun 1 plus in, whoops, I need a space, in space plus number plus days, exclamation point, quotation mark, parenthesis, Now you might be going, gee pi, why did these plus signs touch and these don't? There's no reason. I was just being lazy. Looky here. I can fix it. They can touch or not touch. Okay, up here, I'll do the same thing. They can touch or not touch. As long as they're there, I'm happy. And then I'm going to print a second one. Print the quotation mark, and I'm going to say that's space quotation mark plus str. Remember, we got a typecast here. Num underscore div plus quotation mark weeks. Okay. All right. So assuming that number that we printed was in weeks, oh, of course, you do what you want. It's your story. Okay. And then line 62 says print the rest of the story using another variable that we created. So we're going to go print parenthesis quotation mark we. Okay. Plus verb 1 plus space them with plus noun 2 plus quotation mark comma and in the end the hobbits were what were the hobbits? The hobbits were, I don't want to make this too long. In the end, the hobbits were, and then I'm going to go print again because I don't want to make it too long. ADJ2 plus dot quotation mark parenthesis. Okay, and that dot is a period. I said dot, but I'm in a period. So let's run this and see what kind of story we have, and maybe we need to modify it. So run it. Okay, enter an adjective. Knowing hobbits, I'm going to say short. Plural noun. I'm thinking of Lord of the Rings. Rings. Number 12. Past tense. Walked. Okay, a day at the Shire. Long ago, we went to the Shire. We had a short time. It would have been so short. Maybe I should say wouldn't. It wouldn't have been so short if it were not for the rings. I hadn't seen any rings in 12 days. That's 1.71 blah 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 weeks. Uh-oh, I got an error. Line 62. What does it not like? It says noun 2 is not defined. Did I not make a noun 2? Did I not? Oh, I did not make a noun 2. All right, let's make a noun 2. Noun 2 gets input, parenthesis, quotation mark. Enter another plural noun. Again, you can do this or not do this, totally your prerogative. And then down here, I said, I hadn't seen, it wouldn't. Let's add wouldn't right here. That's me. You don't have to do this. I'm going to add wouldn't. All right, let's run it again. Run. Okay, we're going to say weird rings, goblins. Goblins. Enter a number, 12, past tense, ed, walked. Okay, long ago we went to the Shire. We had a weird time. It wouldn't have been so weird, that sounds better, if it were not for the rings. I hadn't seen any rings in 12 days. That's 1.7 blah 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 weeks. We walked them with goblins. I gotta fix that. And in the end, the hobbits were, and it doesn't like that. Oh, I don't have an ADJ2. Okay, I'm making all kinds of mistakes. ADJ2, and let me fix the them. We had them. We blank, then, I think. Then. And then let's come up here. We have an ADJ1. Right here, I'm going to add an ADJ2. Equals input, parenthesis, quotation mark, enter another adjective, space, quotation mark, parenthesis. Alrighty, last try. We're going to go weird, smelly, rings, goblins, 12, walked. Okay, Long ago, da da da. We walked then with goblins, and in the end the hobbits were smelly. Ha 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 ha. Story's over. Alright, you write whatever story you want. But this is an example of how you could make up your own story about the Shire. Maybe you could make up one about your favorite video game. Write the story first on a piece of paper. It makes your life a lot easier. Don't be like me, kids. Don't make it up as you go along, because then you get a bunch of errors like I did. Alright, toodles.